Hello Clay County 4-H members, parents, volunteers. Today I want to do a quick video on our Clay County 4-H record book and specifically focusing on the members record sections 1, 2, and 3. I'm Matthew Olson, and as always, if you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me at the Clay County Extension Office via phone call, office visit, or if you want to reach me by email, that is always an option. Let's get right to it. I'm going to open up my Clay County 4-H members record. Remember, this is the one that is cumulative, meaning I add to it every year. The best way to recognize it is that it has the nice big 4-H clover on the front and says Clay County 4-H members record. This first page asks for some basic contact information for myself as the 4-H member, and unless this changes from year to year, I don't need to revisit this. So my suggestion to you as a 4-H member is just check that, make sure it is the correct information every year, and move on. You don't need to fill out a brand new one every year. As we scroll down, you'll get to the second page. It shows the record book review and asks for your signature, your parent or guardian signature, and the club leader signature. Now, this is only saying that at the end of the 4-H year, right before you turn this in, it is accurate to the best of your knowledge and it's truthful for what you did this past 4-H record year. So you'll sign it, one of your parents or guardian will sign it, and then the club leader that knows you best will sign it. I do want to draw your attention over here on the left hand side. It recognizes the year as a 2-year span. So right here it says 2019 to 2020. That's because we are going to be keeping track of everything that happens from May 1st through April 30th of the following year. So right now I'm completing my record book for everything that happened May 1st, 2019 through April 30th of 2020. Now that's because we have you turn in your record books in May every year, so it would be kind of hard for you to fill out everything that happens over the summer if you don't have them for a couple weeks to start the summer and you don't pick them up until the recognition event that we have in June. So that's why we have it from May 1st through April 30th. As we keep going and get to section 1, this is asking for your 4-H club information. So think about all the 4-H clubs that you are in, and I am in two. I'm in the Gators 4-H club and the Bullseye Bandits 4-H club. So I filled out this information for both of those clubs. So for the Gators 4-H club, I joined in 2012. My 4-H club leader's name is Alberta Gator. The contact information that they gave me is gogators4h at 4hmail.com. The meetings take place on the first Monday each month at 6 o'clock p.m. at the Clay County Extension Office, and they start in October and end in June of each year. So again, this is a cumulative record, so unless this information changes, you don't need to redo this page every year. You fill it out once, and unless it changes, you don't need to do it again. Now for the Bullseye Bandits 4-H Club, I filled out the same kind of information, but you'll notice here under the project that I participate in, I specifically said it's shooting sports because that's the only project area that Bullseye Bandits focuses on is shooting sports. So that's how I would fill it out if I'm in a club that only focuses on one project area. Now as we scroll down and we get to the next page, section 2, it's the project area enrollment summary. Now this page, I'm going to list all of the different project areas that I'm involved in. And when we think of project area, think of the big area, the big topic that you're learning about in 4-H. So for myself in 4-H, there's several of them that I am involved in. One of them is shooting sports, which I'm going to add here at the bottom. Now, all I'm going to do every year is place an X for the years that I am enrolled in that project area. So you'll notice that I am in the 3D printing project area, so I'm learning about 3D printing through my 4-H club. I'm also in the swine project area, so I'm raising a pig for the fair. I also enjoy taking pictures, so I'm learning about how to better myself with my photography skills. I'm also doing leadership and citizenship project areas so that I can grow my skills as a leader and also be more involved in my community through the citizenship project area. So those are the project areas that I'm enrolled in, and later on in the record book you'll fill out a project area record for at least one of these project areas. And since I'm in the swine project area and the fair has a requirement to fill out a record book, I'm going to fill out for sure the swine project area record, and I'm also going to do one for the 3D printing project area. So those are the two that I'm going to do a project area record for. As we get to section 3, that regards our public presentations that we give. So this concerns the demonstrations, illustrated talks, or public speaking that we prepare and give at club meetings, county showcase, district events, or 4-H university. It's presentation that you're giving related to your 4-H work. Now, if I am doing a presentation about my upcoming trip to Citizenship Washington Focus, the presidential inauguration program in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to present to non-4-H organizations and solicit money from them, I would count that here because it is part of what I am doing for my 4-H work. However, if I'm just giving a presentation at school that's about history and it was a required thing for school but really isn't about 4-H, I'm not going to put it here because it doesn't relate to my 4-H work. So to fill out this section, you're going to follow along with the columns here. So you can see this first column is the date that I gave the presentation, and I gave 4 this year, so I recorded all 4 of the presentations that I gave. The first one that I gave was on October 7th, 2019. It was an illustrated talk, so I'm going to put a T here to categorize that as an illustrated talk. And the title of the presentation was Welcome to the Gators 4-H Club, Your Opportunities as a New 4-H Member. That was at the club level, so under this place column, L stands for local, which means your club, C stands for the county level, D stands for district, and S stands for state. So since this was at my club level and I didn't get a ribbon placing for it, I'm just going to put an X under that L column. And then in the last column, I'm going to put that there were 20 people in the audience. It was under the leadership project area, and it was a club meeting that I gave this at. The next presentation that I gave was on November 2nd, 2019 at the Bullseye Bandits Club meeting. It was a demonstration on the proper way to string a recurve bow. Again, since it was at a club meeting and I didn't get a ribbon placing for it, I'm just going to put a check mark under the L column. And I'm going to put that there were 10 in the audience. It was the shooting sports project area, and it was a club meeting. I would do this for every one of the presentations that I gave throughout the year, and you can see the last 2 are actually the same presentation, but I gave it at different places. So the first place I gave it was a club meeting on January 6th about the different methods of 3D printing and how they're used. That was at a club meeting, so I just put a check mark under the L column. And then I also did that at County Showcase, and I received a blue ribbon. So under that C column, I'm going to put a B, which stands for blue ribbon. If you received a red ribbon, you would put an R, or if you received a white ribbon, you would put a W. Now, if I were to continue this on to district, I would list it again for district events, but since that is postponed for 2020 due to the COVID-19 virus, I can't put it in here because I didn't give that presentation. And the same thing is when I give it at 4-H University, I'll actually put it under the next 4-H record year because that'll be over this summer. And again, we're just keeping the records for May 1st through April 30th of this 4-H year. So that's how you fill out this section along with section 2 and section 1 of the cumulative members record. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at the Clay County 4-H office. Come visit, give me a phone call, or shoot me an email with your questions. I will continue doing these videos, and up next will be section 4 of the record book.